everyone, Natasha here, and around my home today I am in my kitchen. Welcome to my kitchen. It is a partly sunny day outside, but it has gotten warm today. We're all the way up into the 40s, so it feels like spring has finally started to come. We had that cold, bitter winter for the last week or two, and now spring is finally here. So that is exciting, and I'm here today with your first week of the Fly Lady 31 Baby Steps. So if you caught my video last week, I will be doing the Fly Lady 31 Baby Steps in the month of March. Works out great since there are 31 days. So today I'm going to share with you a couple of tips from Marla herself. These are the rules that she has listed on the flylady.net website. And then I will go through the first 7 baby steps so you can plan and get ready as we approach the beginning of March. In case you haven't seen it, I posted a video last week where I shared my top 6 tips for doing the Fly Lady system. So I suggest you go back and watch that. It'll just give you some framework on where I'm at with the Fly Lady system, as well as my tips on how to approach the system. Whether you're new to the Fly Lady system or you've done it before and have had trouble staying with it, it might be a good place to start to get you in the right frame of mind to go into the month of March and these 31 baby steps. So today, let me share with you Marla Silly, the Fly Lady herself, her rules for doing the 31 baby steps, as she has listed on flylady.net, her website, as well as sharing with you the first 7 days that we will be doing, so the first week of the baby steps, and let's go ahead and get started. So just a reminder that the whole point of the baby steps is to give you a very gradual introduction to the Fly Lady system, and her baby steps are there to make it a slow, easy process so that we don't jump in too far into the deep end and get so overwhelmed that we end up stopping the system before we ever get started. And I like this quote from her website, which sums up the Fly Lady 31 baby steps perfectly.
The Fly Lady 31 Baby Steps teach you how to establish little routines for getting rid of your clutter and maintaining your home.
So that is the point. It should be easy. These routines should become habit, and it should be something where it just one day flows to the next and you keep up with things and keep working on decluttering, and it's not overwhelming. So her rules for doing the 31 baby steps are to establish small routines first and then work up to more items. So she gives the example of her morning and her evening routine. She's using that to give us some examples of things to do, but her whole system is meant to be flexible and for you to adapt it to what works for you. So she suggests that you just start with 3 items. Pick 3 items that will be your morning routine, 3 items that will end up being your evening routine or your bedtime routine. Rule number 2 is consistency is the key, and it will keep you doing your routines so that they become automatic. So don't give up. If you miss a day or miss a couple of days, just start fresh the next day. I mentioned that in my last video as well. And keep going and keep that consistency until things just become automatic, and you'll find that it's easier and easier to do them. And her third rule is to take your time and enjoy the process. And I love that about her system, that it honors the fact that we're each going to move through this process at our own pace. And it's not a race. It's not about doing it a right way or a wrong way. It's about doing it the way that works for you. But if you do nothing at all, of course, it'll never get done. So these baby steps will help ease you into the system little by little, establishing those habits and routines so that everything begins to flow and become easier each day. Okay, so now that we have laid the groundwork, let's jump into the first baby step. So baby step number 1, this will be for Monday, March 1st, is to shine your sink. And you might be someone who has a sink full of dishes every day. The dishes are on the counter, the dishes are in the dishwasher. You might be someone who never has a problem with keeping the dishes out of the sink. Wherever you are in the spectrum, this is just a chance to go back to the basics. Get your sink shiny and clean. So I did my shiny sink routine this morning. And I use my Bon Ami cleanser, which works great on my white porcelain sink. If you have a stainless steel sink, you may want to try the tips that the Fly Lady mentions on her website. However works best for you and with whatever cleaners you have on hand, get your sink empty of dishes, even if it just means putting them in a dish tub and setting that off to the side. But getting your sink cleaned out and shiny and fresh and ready for the day is the first baby step. And part of that is then when you go to bed tonight, make sure that you go to bed with no dishes in the sink and that sink shined and cleaned, so there's nothing left in it. And that way tomorrow when you wake up, you'll be greeted with that beautiful, shiny, clean sink, and it makes it just a little bit easier to start the day and jump into the next thing that you have to do. So baby step number 1, shine your sink. Now, as we go along, the idea is to keep building these baby steps. So the second day, we'll add baby step number 2. So when you first get up, you will get dressed to shoes. And she specifically says to make sure you have shoes on your feet so that we protect our feet, we support our feet, and it's that much less tempting to climb back into bed. She talks about how getting dressed to shoes shifts our mind and makes our bodies feel ready for the day, ready to tackle things and get things done and feel like we're starting off ready to go, versus if we stay in our jammies or stay in our loungewear too long, it tends to feel like we're just never quite ready and we never feel like doing much. We just want to keep lounging. So now we're adding the habit of every morning when you get up, get dressed to shoes. It could be a little bit of makeup. If you prefer no makeup, that's fine. Whatever makes you feel dressed. I like to put on a little makeup with some earrings, and then I put on either some lace-up tennis shoes or some of my more supportive slip-on shoes that I wear around the house. And you can do that if you have shoes that you wear outside and you leave those at the door, then pick a pair that is your clean pair that you wear only inside the house, but that will support your feet and make it easy to move around and do things around the home. All right, so that was baby step number 2, get dressed to shoes. So when you go to bed the second night, you will of course go to bed with a shiny sink. Now we're adding to that with baby step number 3. We've already shined our sink, so we get up to a clean and shiny sink. We've already gotten dressed to shoes, so we're ready to start the day. And then she suggests that for baby step number 3, you check out flylady.net and just see what her message is for the day. So flylady.net is her website. It's free to get on there. There is a ton of information. You can look up all kinds of articles and motivational things from Marla Silly the Fly Lady. You can sign up for her email list, and she does send quite a few emails, and the point of those is to help reset your brain and give you little reminders throughout the day. If you find that that's too much, that's okay. You don't have to get the emails. But if you want to just check out her website and kind of get introduced to things on there, that's a great thing to do. I suggest you set a timer, maybe for 5 or 10 minutes, 15 at the most, and take a few minutes to peruse flylady.net. You can read some of her introduction to the 31 baby steps, and when your timer goes off, it's time to move on to the next thing. Okay, so now it is day 4. We're moving on to baby step number 4. We've gotten dressed this morning and we have a shiny sink waiting for us. We're familiar with the Fly Lady, and now it's time to start thinking about actually writing down our routines. So she suggests just taking a Post-it note, that's how she got started, and writing down the couple of things that are your morning routine, and put that where you will see it. It could be right on the wall above your kitchen sink. It could be near your bathroom sink or on the bathroom mirror, somewhere that you will see it regularly to remind you of your habits you're trying to establish. And you can also take it a step further if you want, and instead of a Post-it note, just jot it on an index card or get an old notebook from your kids, flip to a new page and write down your morning routine and your evening routine, or your bedtime routine as she calls it. And again, just keep it simple. 2 to 3 things is fine. Our morning routine so far is getting up and getting dressed to shoes, and our evening routine is going to bed with a shiny sink. So we're working on establishing those habits and routines. Okay, baby step number 5 is to catch negative self-talk and work on turning that into a positive affirmation. So anytime you catch yourself thinking, I can't do it, I'm a terrible housekeeper, I'm overwhelmed, I'll never be able to get this under control, my family is the problem. No matter what I try, it won't work. All of those things that we tell ourselves. This is your reminder to catch that and flip that around to something positive. It could be things like, I am building better habits every day. Every little step I take is in the right direction. I can be a better housekeeper. Whatever works for you, you can turn that around. If you want to write your affirmation down on a Post-it or on the same Post-it with your routine, that's an idea as well. But just keep that in mind as we're going along, that you are being aware of that negative self-talk so that you can flip it around and make it something positive. Okay, we are almost to the end of our first week. Baby step number 6 is to pick a hot spot around your home and spend 2 minutes working on clearing that hot spot. And if you don't know what a hot spot is, think of it like a fire. It's the place in your home that tends to always collect and be cluttered up. So if it's a hot spot of a fire, you have to keep putting that hot spot out, otherwise the whole thing flames up into a great big fire. So if you keep these small little areas that tend to get cluttered clean and clear, then it's more likely the rest of your home is going to be less cluttered as well. So for me, one of my hot spots is above the microwave, because I always think I'm going to put things there that need to go down to the basement, and then the next time I go to the basement I'll grab them, except often I forget to grab it when I go to the basement. So periodically I have to go through and clean off what has accumulated on top of the microwave. Sometimes it's every week, sometimes it's every day. But pick that one hot spot that really troubles you, and you can think about which one would make the most difference to you, and set your timer for 2 minutes and just see how far you can get in putting those items away or getting rid of what's accumulated there. Okay, we're on to the last day of the first week of March, Sunday the 7th, and your baby step number 7 is to pick out your clothes for tomorrow. So this is part of building your evening routine, is that when you go to bed, you'll have your outfit ready to go. So in the morning, that's one less decision you have to make. You just get up, get dressed to shoes, and you're ready to go. And you can choose to do this at whatever time of day works best for you. I tend to do it in the morning. I have a system where I choose 7 outfits and I cycle through one each day of the week. So on Monday when I get up, I wear that outfit that I've chosen, and I choose the outfit that I'll be wearing next Monday and set that at the back of the stack. So that way I always have 7 outfits ready to go. And what's nice is that it seems so much easier to make that decision on the day that's a week early, because I don't really know what I'll feel like wearing that day. I don't really care, so I just pick something and put it in there. Versus that day, sometimes it's hard to make the decision about what I want to wear. And I'll link the video below about how I use the Louise Hay colors and numbers system to help me choose my outfits for the week. But however you decide to do it, pick out your outfit and set it out so that it's ready for the next day. And that is your 7th baby step. So now, bringing it back together, we have established the routine of going to bed with a clean and shiny sink, and getting up in the morning, getting dressed to shoes, getting our outfit picked out at some point during the day, keeping an eye on that negative self-talk so that we can keep flipping it to a positive affirmation, spending 2 minutes working on a hot spot to declutter, and checking out flylady.net to see if there's any inspirational messages that might speak to us for the day. So that is your first 7 days of the Fly Lady 31 baby steps. Hopefully that's given you a place to start where you feel like you're making some good progress forward, but we're just doing these gentle little baby steps to make it an easy process for you. If you have any questions, feel free to jot them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Check out Diane in Denmark here on YouTube. She does an excellent job of teaching all about the Fly Lady system. She's done a separate series for the 31 baby steps where she goes through and does a video for you every day. So if you'd rather see it really spelled out slowly, you can watch her videos as well. And also check out my friend Sara over at Silver Lining. She is doing a 40 bags in 40 days declutter series for the Lenten season. So if you want to get an extra boost on your decluttering and join in with that, I'll link her below and you can join her 40 bags in 40 days declutter series. And we'll keep working on establishing good habits and routines for taking care of ourselves and our home. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and we'll talk about the next 7 baby steps. Until then, keep shining your sink, remembering to smile, and approach everything with grace. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you have a great one. I look forward to seeing you again soon. If you like this series, don't forget to give it a thumbs up down below and subscribe if you'd like to catch my next video. And I will look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.